Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste. In the last part, we briefly discussed about the mudras in general. Now we shall try to understand the 10 Śrīvidyā Mudra-s known as Dasha Mudra and how they are connected to the 9 Āvaraṇa-s of Śricakra. Yoginī Hṛdayam first talks about the 10th and the last mudra, namely Sarva Trikanda Mudra, which is the most important and superior of all the 10 mudras. The word Trikanda means having 3 parts. These 3 parts are Vama, Jaishta and Raudri, or Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti and Kriya Shakti. We understood these 3 in the last part. Trikanda Rūpamapanna Sada Sannidhikarini Sarvasya Chakrarajasya Vyapika Parikirtita. The great goddess Parashakti assumes 3 sections or 3 forms of Vama, etc. Trikanda Rūpamapanna, and she pervades the entire Śricakra. Sarvasya Chakrarajasya Vyapika. That is, she is all-encompassing and she pervades the entire universe in the form of a recurring cycle of creation, preservation and dissolution. In the same way, she permeates the entire Śricakra. It should be remembered that the triple Kriya or action, namely Srishti, Sthiti and Samhara, or creation, preservation and dissolution, is something that is happening perpetually and simultaneously at various levels in a cyclical order in the universe. And since Parashakti as Ambika has pervaded the entire universe in these 3 Shakti forms of Vama, Jaishta and Raudri, she is known as Sarva Trikanda, that is of 3 segmented Shakti. So, Sarva Trikanda means Parashakti's expansion in her triple action of Srishti, Sthiti and Samhara. Here the 3 Khandas also imply the 3 states or avastha, namely waking, dreaming and deep sleep, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti states. These 3 are called 3 worlds because only in these 3 states a living being undergoes 3 entirely different world experiences. So that is the significance of Sarva Trikanda Mudra. We shall see the significance of the finger position of this mudra later as it comes as the 10th mudra. We shall now understand the significance of the first Avarana or the sub-chakra of Śricakram, that is Trailokya Mohana Chakra. We also saw earlier that the Mudra Shakti associated with this Avarana is the first of the Dasha Mudras, namely Sarva Samkshobhini Mudra. In Śricakram, the outermost formation of the 3 quadrangular lines in this Avarana, known as Dwara Chakra, the entry gate chakra, because the 4 door-like openings on all the 4 sides are like the entry gates. The 3 quadrangular lines are called Bhupura. Bhu means universe or world. It is named as Trailokya Mohana Chakra. Chaturashra Trayarupe Trailokya Mohane Chakre Sthita. 3 quadrangular lines are known as Trailokya Mohana Chakra. Why is this Avarana called Trailokya Mohana Chakram? Because the entry of Maya happens at this point of creation. The 36 creative principles, 36 Tattwas, The first five, namely Shiva Tattva, Shakti Tattva, Sadashiva Tattva, Ishvara Tattva and Shuddha Vidya Tattva are known as pure creations, Shuddha Srishti or Shuddha Adhva, as they belong to the Paramarthika plane, the primordial non-differentiated state. The sixth Tattva is Maya, and from this principle of Maya onwards, the rest of the principles are called impure creations, Ashuddha Srishti or Ashuddha Adhva. Maya is the first pollutant which separates the world, the worldly dimension, as a unique yet limited framework. This material world dimension is the facet of what we perceive to be reality. Beyond that, we cannot perceive. And this limited perception of ours is itself an illusion on account of the working of Maya Tattva. Maya means illusion. Mohanam also means illusion or that which deludes. This delusion, the fantasy that everything is real, happens to the living beings, essentially human beings, in their three worlds of waking state, dream state and deep sleep state. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. These are the three worlds that we experience, the totally different states, the three realms entirely different from each other. As dream appears real while dreaming and like a fantasy while awake, so are the other two also. And not experiencing anything in deep sleep is itself an experience of that particular world, experienceless world. And that is why this subchakra, the first Avarana of Śricakram, is known as Trailokya Mohana Chakra, meaning the enchanter of the triple world or giver of triple delusion. And the name of the first mudra, which is associated with this first Avarana, as I mentioned earlier, is Sarva Samkshobhini Mudra. Yoni Prachuryatah Saisha Sarva Samkshobhika Punah Vama Shakti Pradhaneyam Dvara Chakre Sthita Bhavet. In this mudra, the chief and predominant force is Vama Shakti. Vama Shakti Pradhana Iyam Mudra. Vama Shakti means Srishti, creation, and creation means agitation, Kshobha. Vama Shakti Pradhanatvat Srishtihi, Srishtireva Kshobha. That is, the primal agitation of the cosmic forces in creating the architecture of this universe. That is the meaning of this mudra, Sarva Samkshobhini, the agitator of all. Entering into this worldly dimension, that is, creation of the different aspects of this universe, fundamental forces of nature, and the elementary particles contained in them, and so on, is a kind of upheaval, unrest, or turbulence, Kshobha. That is what the name of this mudra denotes, Sarva Samkshobhini Mudra. Srishtireva Kshobha. By forcefully stirring through a turbulent commotion, this universe emerges. The word Kshobha also means soaring up or ascending. The power of consciousness, Chit Shakti, gets fully agitated and rises at the first stage of creation, and that is also indicated in the name of this mudra. This creation of the three worlds, Trailokya, as implied by the name of this Avarana, the waking, dream and the deep sleep states, in their source form is revealed by exhibiting this mudra. It is mentioned in Dīpikā commentary, Yoni prachuryat sa sarva samkshobhini. Yoni prachuryam means the association or combination of sources, the triple world sources, that is Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti states. These three states are indicated by the middle ring and small fingers and by joining them. Madhyama dvaya samyogat eka, anamika dvaya samyogat anya, kanishthika dvaya samyogat apara. The thumb that supports these three fingers is the consciousness that supports the three world experiences. And the straightened index fingers imply Parashakti rising like a sprout in the form of Vama Shakti. Like this. This is how Sarva Samkshobhini Mudra is displayed. So this is how the significance of the first Avarana and the first Mudra has been explained. Next level is that of Jaishta Shakti, that is emergence of Jaishta Shakti, who is in charge of the preservation of the universe. Sthiti Kartavya. Kshubdha Vishwa Sthitikarī Jaishta Prachuryam Ashrita. That is, the universe which is agitated in the creation stage is taken care of by Jaishta as she emerges. Prachuryam Ashrita Jaishta. Jaishta provides harmony and coherence to the created universe by alleviating, by pacifying the initial turbulence of the cosmic forces. Kshobha. The name of the second Avarana is Sarvāsha Pūraka Chakram, the complete fulfiller of desire. Asha. What is this desire? The Ichha or desire of creation of the universe. The second Satchakra of Srichakram indicates that the ambition or aspiration of creation has been fulfilled. It is of the shape of a 16-petaled lotus, Shodasha Dala Padma. We saw earlier that the Supreme Goddess Chit Shakti in the form of Kriya Shakti gladdens the world, Modanat, and also enables the flow in an order, Dravanat. As this is the important purpose in the act of preservation of the universe, Sthiti Kartavya, the mudra connected with this Avarana is known as Sarva Vidravini Mudra. That is Dravana, meaning the one who facilitates the smooth and natural flow of preservation, or who implements the order distinctive to this universe. This is also an act of grace or blessing, anugraha. The functioning or the movement of this material universe in a proper and definite order is a great blessing to the living beings of this universe. In Setubandham, Shri Bhāskararāya says that Vidravanam means anugraha, that is, ensuring order is a blessing. Sharira Ghataka Samanya Dharmavatvam Uchyate Idrusha Vishesha Samanya Dharmayor Yogena Sarvanugrahakarini Ityuchyate Anugraho Nama Vidravana. The designing of body functioning of the living beings and providing them mind with its spatio-temporal relativity and limitations in tune with the nature of this universe, and establishing routine as well as exclusive rules for the uniform flow of all potencies of this universe, Vishesha Samanya Dharmayor Yoga is a blessing, and therefore she is known as Sarva Vidravini. the systematic and consistent manner of the functioning of the body, architecture of different life forms, and the organized and unwavering nature of the five base elements of this universe, Panchabhuta, all in homogeneous and perfect alignment with the nature, is certainly a divine blessing to ensure smooth and orderly flow in the functioning of the universe. Is it not? Anugraho Nama Vidravanam. Ensuring order is a blessing. That is the significance of the name of this mudra, which is known as Sarva Vidravini. So, Sarva Vidravini mudra in Sarvasha Puraka Chakram means establishing order of maintenance in the universe created as a fulfillment of desire. The index and middle fingers represent Vama and Jaishta respectively, and along with Vama, Jaishta also rises simultaneously to ensure sthiti or preservation. Both these straight fingers, index and middle fingers, denote the functioning of Vama and Jaishta because, as I said earlier, these functions of creation and maintenance are continuous and concurrent also. The third Avarana of Śricakram, the 8-petaled lotus, Ashtadala Padma, indicates that a force of attraction operates in the equivalent and simultaneous functioning of both Vama and Jaishta. Yoginī Hṛdayam says, Jaishta Vama Samatvena Sriştehe Pradhanyamāśrita Ākarshinitu Mudreyam Sarva Samkshobhini Smruta. Jaishta Vama Samatvena. What is this Samatva or equivalence? It is the same what was said earlier, that is the continuance of creation, Srishti, even in the next level of preservation, Sthiti. Srishti, Sthiti and Samhara, that is creation, preservation and reabsorption, happen cyclically and concurrently. So how the process of creation continues even in preservation or maintenance? Purvanubhava samskara janyam jnanam samkshobhanam. It is on account of the cyclical recurrence of samskaras. Samkshobhana here means spinning or swirling. That is rapid recurrence. Recurrence of birth cycles as a result of the samskaras. That is memory constructions in the form of past experiences, the subtle impressions left by past actions. That is why this Avarana is known as Sarva Samkshobhana Chakra. And functioning of this cycle is according to the vasanas of the living beings. That is, the ingrained patterns of behavior, inherent latencies and tendencies as a result of the samskaras. Since the vasanas attract, the mudra is called Sarva Akarshini Mudra. Akarshanam means attraction. Sarvakarshini means all attracting and ensnaring. Vasanas attraction results in the recurrence of births, samkshobhana, that is, repeating creation in the phase of preservation. Here in this hand gesture of Sarva Samkshobhini Mudra, both the index and middle fingers representing Vama and Jaishta are bent at the tip like a hook, indicating the attraction or pulling like a hook. Vakra Anguliyadvaya Rupatvad Akarshini Iyam Mudra. Therefore, Sarvakarshini Mudra in Sarva Samkshobhana Prakshobhana Chakram means the functioning of pull in the recurring creation cycles. Next is the fourth Avarana, which is of the shape of a 14 triangle edged figure known as Chaturdashara. It is named as Sarva Saubhagyadayaka Chakra, meaning the giver of all auspiciousness or harmonious felicity or bliss. How is this harmonious or congenial bliss is given? Vyomadvayantarālastha bindurupa maheshwari Shivashaktyātma samśleshād divyāveshakari smrta. While the universe is macrocosm, the body is microcosm, a minute replica of the outer universe. In the microcosmic body, there are energy centers at different levels known as Ācārya Chakras, from the base Mūladhara to the Ajna, that is at the center of eyebrows. At the center of each of these Ācārya Chakras, there is a subtle infinitesimal space called sky of emptiness, Shunya Akasha. It is not really empty. Inside that emptiness, it is said that a part of the Supreme Consciousness resides in the form of a Sukshma Bindu, as a minutest spark. Vyomadvaya Antarālastha Bindurupa Maheshwari. That Bindurupa Shakti is the one that gives energy to the living organisms. That is the auspiciousness or the uniform bliss as indicated in the name of this subchakra, Sarva Saubhagyadayaka Chakra. That Bindurupa Shakti is the bliss of consciousness, and it actually represents the union of Shiva and Shakti. It is mentioned in Yoginī Hṛdayam that the eternal Shiva-Shakti amalgam or fusion alone that is happening subtly in the empty space of pure consciousness of the Ācārya Chakras, that gives the living beings the power of mutual attraction or captivating power, the mutual passion or urge for union in order to procreate or progenerate. That is what is mentioned in the Yoginī Hṛdayam verse as Shivashaktyātma samśleshād divyāveshakari smrta. Samślesham means union. This power of mutual attraction is what the name of this mudra associated with this avarana indicates. Sarva Aveshakari Mudra or Sarva Vashankari Mudra. Sarva Vashankari Mudra in Sarva Saubhagyadayaka Chakram means that mutual passion is generated by the internal Bindurupa Shakti of living beings for mutual union in order to progenerate, which is indeed a creative activity, Srishti Prakriya, and it gives unbroken harmony and felicity to the living beings. How is this mudra displayed with fingers? Like this. It is said by Śrī Amṛtānandanātha in his Dīpikā commentary, Shivatmano Dakshakarangulayah Shaktyatmano Vamakarangulayah Antarala Praveshidanam Sarvesham Anyonya Gadha Paripidanad Evam Bhutva Divya Aveshakari Mudra. All the right hand fingers have Shiva element, they represent Shiva. All the left hand fingers have Shakti element and they represent Shakti. This mudra is done by joining the hands, the fingers, and mutually clipping or interlocking the fingers, indicating that the spark of fusion of the primordial couple, Shiva Shakti Samavesha is intensely blissful for the multiple living beings. Multiple fingers hinting manifold living organisms. While reminding ourselves about this blissful union, we pay our obeisance to the goddess by showing this mudra. So, we understood about the bliss that this fourth mudra, Sarva Vashankari mudra, bestows. The next two mudras also confer bliss, but different kinds of bliss, about which we shall see in the next part. Till then, Namaste.